morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday, August 14th, 2023. My name is Kevin Smith. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Loud Majority Live. We are rolling in on the end of summer here. The summer lull will be beyond us. We will be back in school season, so I'm sure the stories will be coming abound of crazy ass teachers. And if you've got any of those, go ahead and feel free to send them my way so that we can let everybody know that they are not alone. That they are not alone in the complete and utter nonsense that's happening in our schools. But today's show is all about immigrants. Today's show is all about immigrants because, you know, Joe Biden likes to put on this face. The Biden administration likes to put on this face like they actually care about illegal immigrants. Like they actually care about the asylum seekers coming to this country. Of course, we all know that they could not give two craps one way or the other, that they couldn't care one way or the other. And you know what? It's so funny. What the Biden administration has just done to Kathy Hochul is going to be proof enough of that. Also, I've got a ridiculous story out of Long Island, just in case anyone is curious on whether or not they want to ruin everything it is to be a Long Islander. Everything it is to be a Long Islander. And just to see how bad things have really gotten for Bud Light, they all sort of tie together here. Now, we've been playing videos on this show nonstop about the immigrants sleeping on the streets outside of the Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan. We've been playing them nonstop. Viral News NY does a great, Viral News NYC, I should say, does a great job covering all of this, does a great job covering this sort of stuff. And there's been an unbelievable amount of corruption so far when it comes to the migrant housing. I've got this story from the New York Post, if it will ever load, from the New York Post. Apparently, Governor Hochul has decided to issue no-bid contracts to house illegal immigrants. Oh, let me pull that up real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Has been issuing no-bid contracts in order to house some of these illegal immigrants. It is rather funny. It is rather funny to me when I sit back and I actually look at the amount of corruption going through with the $2 billion plan to house all these illegal immigrants. Is from the New York Post. Enough is enough. New York House, the New York House Republican delegation. Wow, wait. We have a New York House delegation? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know we had one of those. The New York House Republican delegation blasts Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams' bid, awarding billions in no-bid emergency contracts to address that migrant crisis. Leading the charge is Hudson Valley Republican Mike Lawler. Wow, I'm shocked. I didn't know he could find time from groveling on Fox News to actually put out a statement. On Tuesday, in a scathing letter. Ooh, Mike Lawler, you sent a strongly worded letter. I bet that'll teach them. Nothing like strongly worded letters by New York Republicans that go directly into the trash. He sends a strongly worded letter on Tuesday to two Democratic leaders citing serious concerns they have with the current contracts and raising doubts about pumping more federal funds into New York to deal with the crisis. These contracts represent a continuing trend of irresponsible spending that will continue to drag down New York, wrote the freshman and soon-to-be one-term congressman. The letter identifies two New York contracts valued at $1.6 billion in total to two Texas-based firms, Garner Environmental Services and Cotton Commercial, as first reported by the Albany Times-Union. The GOP rep pointed to the $432 million in emergency contract the Adams administration awarded to DocGo to provide services to migrants in the city that the city has sent to upstate hotels. The New York Times reported complaints that the migrants were being misled and mistreated by the company. Well, of course they were. House Republican Chairman and upstate Rep Elise Stefanik co-signed the legislation, as well as House members Meliotakis, Tenney, Williams, D'Esposito, Langworthy, and Molinaro. Wow, hold on a minute. Of course, they wouldn't. This is the best. You guys want to know about your local officials? You guys want to know about your local officials? I'm going to throw this up on the screen, and we're going to have having another rally. Janet, send me that stuff after the show. You guys want to know how New York Republicans operate? You ready for this? House Republican Chairwoman Elise Stefanik, Meliotakis, Tenney Williams, D'Esposito, Langworthy, and Molinaro all signed onto the letter. George Santos was asked not to sign the letter. Okay, so Santos was asked not to sign the letter. Hey, Nick LaLota, can you hear me, bro? Why didn't you sign on to the strongly worded letter? Hey, Andrew Garbarino, what's the matter? Didn't get a text from your dad saying you were allowed to? We can't even get Suffolk County Republicans to sign on to strongly worded letters. We can't even get Long Island Republicans to sign on to strongly worded letters that do nothing except give some sort of false sense of illusion that they're actually participating in the process. Of course. But I'm sure they've got your best interest at heart, everyone. I'm sure they're just not political hacks put there for no other reason than nepotism. Nothing like a good nepo baby. GOP lawmakers noted that one of the firms, Gardner Environmental Services, contributed $5,000 to Governor Hochul's campaign and cited the no-bid $637 million contract the state previously awarded to Digital Gadgets for COVID-19 testing, while their owner, Charles DeBelle and associates raised more than $300,000 for Hochul's campaign. But that's not the real big story. The real big story comes from this. They want to put illegal immigrants, these illegal immigrants at Floyd Bennett Field. Floyd Bennett Field, it's a giant swath of open, unused space, totally off the beaten path. I mean, if you got to put these people somewhere, personally, I would say put them back in the countries from whence they came. But since New York won't do that, you got to put these people somewhere. So they want to put them at Floyd Bennett Field. However, the Biden administration refused to sign off on New York City putting the illegals at a military site. Oh, really? So I want to thank Joe Biden for allowing these illegals to live on our streets. This from the New York Post again. The Biden administration is refusing to sign off on using Brooklyn's Floyd Bennett Field to house migrants, leaving Governor Kathy Hochul red-faced after she made a personal pitch to the feds on Sunday. New York's top Democrat official made sure she was on the morning call with such Biden bigs as the Deputy Secretary of the Interior, and her office even prepared an announcement on the deal to send out pronto after sources familiar with the situation told the Post. But it turns out it never actually amounted to anything because the Department of the Interior wouldn't allow it to happen. The embattled governor hoped to be able to finally crow about a deal with the feds to use the desperately needed space at the 1,000-acre former military airfield to help ease the crush of migrants flooding into the Big Apple. But the Democratic White House administration shunned Hochul by rebuffing her, saying there are still operational and legal issues at play on housing asylum seekers at the site. Quote, Getting the federal government to change its position and tell an agency, the Department of the Interior, that they now have to accept migrants has been a complicated journey, Hochul later told reporters at an unrelated press conference after marching in the Dominican Day Parade. A source said that as far as the state is concerned, the plan for Floyd Bennett, now overseen by the U.S. National Parks Department, is still very much in play. So Governor Hochul look, everyone knows, if you're watching from New York, what Floyd Bennett Field is. Everybody knows what that is. It is a giant unused bit of space in Brooklyn, I believe. A giant piece of unused space. But Governor Hochul says that that the federal government won't let them be housed there. So, what's happening? They are being left to languish on the sidewalk. 100-degree days in New York City. So when your liberal friend tries to tell you that Joe Biden cares about illegal immigrants, that he cares about migrant workers and asylum seekers, be sure to let them know that they would rather have these people living out on the street, than put them inside of a former military base that has buildings and plumbing. They would rather have these people peeing and shitting in alleys than at Floyd Bennett Field. I was actually in a movie. They filmed it at Floyd Bennett Field. It's a terrible movie. I was doing extra work. It's very nice down there. But the Biden administration will no longer completely shut that plan down. The New York City mayor also said that the Big Apple's migrant crunch is expected to cost a mind-boggling $12 billion over the next 3 years. That's funny, because I was told that our border wall was too expensive, and that would have cost $7 billion. But it's going to cost $12 billion just in New York City alone. And we all know that when Democrats give you some sort of a cost-effective number, you should probably triple, even quadruple that number, because you know they're lowballing it. Before we keep going, make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up button if you're watching on Rumble. If you are new to the page, hit the follow button right underneath the video. Help this channel keep growing bigger and better every day. If you're watching on Facebook, guys, please share this video out into all your Facebook groups so everyone will know what is going on. I know that from now on, guys, the show will be starting at 8 a.m. here on all of the platforms. I know everybody's been away for the summer. I've been away a lot of the summer. So the show has been a little bit choppy, but we will be coming back every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, right here across all of the platforms. You can see all the social medias right across the screen if you guys want to give that a follow. Also, guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for our newsletter. Check out the shop. You can use promo code LFA that's Lima Foxtrot Alpha for 20% off everything on the website. That's Lima Foxtrot Alpha for 20% off everything on the website as we get rocking and rolling into the summer months here. As we get rocking and rolling, I've got one more story about the Creedmoor situation. Apparently, there's going to be another protest going on outside of Creedmoor. I'll have more on that on Wednesday. Right, Janet? When is the Creedmoor thing you said? Oh, it's going to be this Wednesday, so I'll make sure to get that information out once I get it about the protest going on outside of Creedmoor. For those watching from outside of New York, you know that Creedmoor is a mental hospital. So military base, no. Mental hospital, yes. That's great. That's absolutely spectacular. And the people are starting to rise up and talk about it. This from New York One. People packed Hillside Avenue chanting and holding signs in opposition to the new migrant shelter that is scheduled to be set up in the parking lot next to Creedmoor Psychiatric Center. It's one of the latest facilities that will be used to house the approximately 57,000 migrants in the city's care. It's a daily struggle. As we have continually said, we need more help from our state partners. I don't know what a state partner is. And we need help from the federal government. It's not something the city can handle on its own. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have called for it. Maybe you should have said everyone's welcome here. But that is, alas, the world we live in. In other news, the Department of Homeland Security is saying it's sending a team to assess the migrant situation in the city and across the state. And the team will report back to Washington. Wow, I want to thank New York One for that in-depth article. 3 paragraphs long. It's almost like these people don't care, but they don't care. So if you're going to be going down to that, be sure to send the footage over here, and we will get that out for you. One quick Long Island story that I did want to get to, because there's nothing we need more on Long Island. As I said, guys, the show's going to be starting at 8 o'clock. We're going to be cutting it earlier rather than going later. Rather than going later, just covering one big story at a time. Starting at 8 a.m. every single day. Before we get to the, it's where the senior center is, across the street from the grammar school, huge ball field. Okay, I like that. Before we get to the next Long Island story about how they're trying to keep you dumber and keep you down, a quick word from Mike Lindell.
Over the last 20 years, with all your support, we've been able to not only launch the original MyPillow, but also the MyPillow mattress topper, Giza Dream bed sheets, My Slippers, and the MyPillow bath towels. But there's so much more. In fact, we have over 200 products, and I'm so confident that you'll love each and every one of them that when you go to MyPillow.com now, you'll immediately receive a free gift valued at $20 just for checking out the website. No purchase necessary. Get everything from MyPillow blankets, sleepwear, kitchen towels, mattresses, duvets, pet beds, body pillows, comforters, couch pillows, bathrobes, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And remember, just for checking out MyPillow.com, you'll immediately receive a free gift valued at $20. No purchase necessary. This is a limited time promotion, so go to MyPillow.com now.
Guys, head on over to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. That's MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD, for up to 80% off everything on the website. That's promo code LOUD for up to 80% off everything on the website. Please support the people who support this show. And, of course, that's the great Mike Lindell and his team over at MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD for up to 80% off everything on the website. Look, you guys are going to buy MyPillow products anyway, so I appreciate the support of the people who support this network. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. Before we get into how they're going to make us even dumber, guys, hit that thumbs up button if you're watching on Rumble, please. If you're new to the channel, hit the follow button. Make the account on Rumble, because Rumble is the place to be. If you're watching on Facebook, go on over to Rumble. That's where you can catch this show every day, where we can say anything we want. We don't have to worry about any sort of social media censorship. It's where you can watch LFA TV, the best damn political news channel anywhere in the world. So head on over there. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button. Tag one of your friends in the comments section below so that they can see the video as well. So a treasure of Long Island is the Blue Point Brewing Company. I've been there. I'm sure many of you have been there. It's very nice. My little cousin owns a very small brewery, and a lot of people got into brewing because of many of the larger breweries here on Long Island. I love beer. I still like beer. Brett Kavanaugh, great quote. But it turns out that the Blue Point Brewing Company, which was once bought by Anheuser-Busch, had to be sold off after the Dylan Mulvaney debacle. After they lost billions in market cap, after they lost hundreds of millions of dollars in raw dollars and cents because of their utter nonsense, putting a freak on the cover on one of their cans of beer. So they had to begin selling off companies left and right. So the Blue Point Brewing Company has now been sold to, you're never going to guess, a weed company. This comes from Greater Long Island. Blue Point Brewing Company acquired by a cannabis company. So if you live near there, just know that very soon your entire neighborhood is going to smell like weed. It's going to smell just like New York City. The Blue Point Brewing Company is under new ownership. Tilray, the cannabis lifestyle and consumer-packed goods company headquartered in New York City, has struck a deal with Anheuser-Busch to acquire 8 of its craft breweries, including Blue Point. The other brewing companies are Shock Top, Breckenridge Brewery, and then a couple you've probably never heard of. Square Mile Cider. The transaction announced on Tuesday morning will include all employees' brewing company and brew pubs, according to a release. The deal was completed for an undisclosed amount in cash, with an estimated closing in 2023. It is wild that pot companies have enough money to start buying companies off of Anheuser-Busch. But we shall see what will happen there. Quote, under the federal cannabis regulation, we expect to leverage our ownership position, wide distribution network, and portfolio of beloved beverages and well-known brands, including THC-based products, and maximize all commercial opportunities. So just know that in addition to all the alcohol coming out of there, they will keep you dumb, they will keep you lazy, they will keep you stupid, and they will keep your entire neighborhood smelling like the bottom of a bong. I think this is a fitting sentence in this article. In 2019, Blue Point moved its production to its current 9,000 square foot brew pub on West Main Street, a site that had previously housed Briarcliff College. So, it turns out we are now replacing colleges with breweries. And now we're replacing breweries with pot shops. Why don't they just open a whorehouse there and just lead directly to the total debauchery of our lovely neighborhoods? If we wanted this crap, we'd still be living in the city. But it turns out our parents came out here. Our grandparents came out here from the city because they did not want to live amongst that debauchery. But in addition to illegal immigrants flooding into our suburban neighborhoods, now we're getting all the pot shops. Absolutely spectacular. This is the world we live in. Tillery, the name of the weed company, has been gobbling up breweries, acquiring another big Long Island craft beer brand, Montauk Brewing Company. So now all of our beloved Long Island companies are now being gobbled up by a New York City-based pot company. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? But this is the world we live in, everyone. This is the world we live in. So be it. So be it. Guys, I'm going to be signing off right now. Make sure you guys stay tuned at 1 p.m. for the LFA show. I know a lot of people have been away over the course of the last couple of weeks, as have I. Once again, as I said, the show will begin every day at 8 p.m. right here on LFA, right here on all of the Loud Majority networks across all of the social media platforms. I'm going to have big news coming up very, very soon. You guys are going to want to stick around for that in the coming weeks. Never miss out on anything we've got going on. Head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shops so you never miss out on what's happening. Big, big news. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button across all of the social medias. And I will see you guys back at 1 p.m. on LFA TV, rumble.com/LFA TV. Until then, everybody, stay loud.